Why won't you help me? She begged, her voice cracking. I just smirked. Years ago. You laughed when I found your texts about wanting your ex. You called me immature. The shock on her face was priceless. I stayed silent then. But now, I held all the cards. Hey Reddit. I need some unbiased opinions here because my head is still spinning. I'm hoping she reads this. Maybe for once she'll see it from a perspective that isn't her own. So, let's set the stage. We were together for almost 6 years. We were engaged. Planning a future. The whole deal. I thought we were solid. But there was this one issue that kept popping up. Like a weed you can't ever fully pull out. Her ex-boyfriend. And to be clear, I'm not the kind of guy who thinks his fiancée can't have male friends. That's not it. The problem was when these friends would start getting flirty. Fully knowing she was with me. Engaged and all. Instead of shutting it down. She'd just kind of laugh. Like it was a funny little compliment, and I was supposed to see it that way too. It made my stomach turn. But I tried to tell myself I was just being insecure. That changed one night. I was in the living room and her phone was on the coffee table. It lit up with a notification from her group chat with her girlfriends. I wasn't trying to snoop. But the preview of the message was right there on the screen. I saw her ex's name. And then a sentence from her that made the air go out of my lungs. God. I just want to have sex with him. My brain kind of short-circuited trying to process it. This is my fiancée. The woman I was going to marry. And she's typing that out for her friends to see. I didn't know what to do. My first instinct was to just blow up. To start yelling. But I stopped myself. No. I thought. That's not gonna solve anything. I need to understand what this is. I need to ask her. So I waited. When she came into the room later, I kept my voice as level as I could. Hey. I saw a message on your phone earlier. I started. It was about your ex. She didn't even try to figure out what I meant. She immediately went on the defensive. So you were reading my texts? It was on the screen. I didn't have to pick it up. I said, trying to steer the conversation back to the actual problem. I told her what I saw. I asked her why she would say that. I was expecting, I don't know, maybe an apology. An explanation that she was drunk. Or just having a weird moment. Instead, she just scoffed. A literal scoff. Oh my God. Relax. She said, rolling her eyes. It was a joke. It's just girl talk. That's how we mess around. She said it with such confidence. Like I was an idiot for not getting the punchline. She completely brushed off the fact that I was hurt. It was like my feelings weren't even part of the equation. It was just a joke. And I was immature for not being able to take it. I stood there, feeling like I was the crazy one. She had basically just told her friends she wanted to cheat on me. And when I called her on it, she flipped it around and made it my fault for being sensitive. I let it go that night. But it was the first time I truly felt a crack form in the foundation of what I thought we had. So, this is my first question for you all. Was that a joke? Am I the one who was in the wrong for being so hurt by that? That joke was just the tip of the iceberg. 4 months after that, I tried to push it to the back of my mind, telling myself I was making a big deal out of nothing. But a seed of doubt had been planted, and it was impossible to ignore. I started noticing how guarded she was with her phone. How she'd angle it away from me when she was texting. My gut was screaming at me that something was wrong. So, I did something I'm not proud of, but felt I had to do. I looked at her messages while she was in the shower. What I found was so much worse than a one-time joke. It was a full-blown pattern of deception spanning years. For consecutive years. To be exact. I scrolled through conversation after conversation with her ex. It was always her reaching out. Trying to set something up. Trying to hang out. His replies were never subtle. He was brutally direct. Telling her straight up that he just wanted to have sex. A normal person. An engaged person. Would have shut that down immediately. Blocked him. Said something like, I'm engaged. You need to respect that. But she never did. Her response, every single time, was to just laugh it off. She'd send a laughing emoji or say you're crazy lol. She never once told him no. She kept the door wide open. And it felt like she was enjoying the attention. And then I saw the line that felt like a physical punch to the gut. She told him, on more than one occasion, that the connection they had was so special and different. Special and different. While she was wearing my ring on her finger. When I confronted her, The cycle from the girl talk incident repeated itself, but 10 times worse. I sat her down calmly and said, "We need to talk about you and your ex." Her first response was a lie. A flat out, "Look me in the eyes lie. I don't talk to him." She said, "What are you even talking about?" My heart sank. I knew what was coming. I showed her the phone, with their years of messages on the screen. The moment she saw the proof, her demeanor shifted instantly. It wasn't remorse. It wasn't embarrassment. It was pure rage, directed at me. "You went through my phone," she yelled. "You're so controlling. I can't believe you'd invade my privacy like that." My brain was spinning. I had undeniable proof of her lying and entertaining this guy for years. And somehow, I was the villain for discovering it. She made me feel like I was the jealous, insecure monster. The worst part was her excuse. After the anger died down, she'd fall back on the same line. "He's just a friend. It means nothing. I'm sleeping with you, aren't I?" But that was the most hollow line of all. The truth is, we barely had a physical relationship. We'd have sex maybe once every 4 months. And only because I would finally get frustrated enough to bring it up. She never, not once, initiated. So Reddit. Here's my second question. When the evidence is this clear, the constant contact, the lies, him wanting sex, her calling their bond special, is it still possible I was just being the jealous boyfriend? Or was this a full-blown emotional affair that I was right to be upset about? Unsurprisingly, the relationship didn't survive. You can't build a future on a foundation of lies and half-truths. The trust was completely eroded. And we eventually broke up? The constant fighting about her ex, my inability to trust her, and her refusal to see how deeply her actions were hurting me. It all just imploded. I spent a lot of time trying to heal, trying to understand my own part in it. Then, a couple of days ago, we talked on the phone. I don't know what I was hoping for. Maybe some kind of closure or a mutual acknowledgement of what went wrong. The conversation was civil at first, just catching up. But then we started talking about the breakup. And I mentioned, as calmly as I could, that I still believe her ongoing connection with her ex was the main reason we fell apart. The shift in her tone was immediate. All the warmth vanished, replaced by an ice-cold anger. She told me that my way of thinking was immature. She was genuinely mad that, after all this time, I was still holding on to that. And then she delivered the line that prompted me to write this whole thing out. She said, "If I had the chance to go back in time, the only thing I would do differently is never mention my ex-boyfriend to you in the first place." The line just hung there in the silence between us. My mind was racing to process it. Her only regret wasn't the secret conversations, the lies, the constant disrespect to our relationship. Her only regret was that I found out. In her mind, the problem wasn't her actions, but my awareness of them. It was the final, undeniable proof that she had never, not for a second, considered my feelings in any of this. She saw our entire 6-year relationship's collapse not as a tragedy born from betrayal, but as a strategic mistake on her part. She should have just lied better. That's when it all clicked into place. I finally saw the truth I had been avoiding for years. I know I wasn't perfect. I stayed when I should have left. I should have had the self-respect to walk away the moment I saw that first group chat message. I see that now. But I stayed because I was in love. And I kept telling myself that my love would be enough to make her see what she was risking. I truly believed I could love her enough to make her choose us. I was so wrong. You can't make someone value you. So, Reddit, I'm laying it all out for you. She honestly believes I'm the immature one who needs to grow up, because I can't let go of the past. After hearing all this, tell me, who's in the wrong here?